he's made significant contributions to the Nigerian film industry, and he's dedicated more than 4 decades of his life to promoting Nigerian culture through film. He attended Abeokuta Grammar School, where his passion for storytelling and literature blossomed. Later attended London Film School, earning a diploma in art and technique of filmmaking. And he has received numerous awards, including the Lifetime Achievement at the S16 Film Festival and the Pan-African Film Festival Award for Best African Narrative Feature. Please welcome, no drum rolls, we call him TK, Tunde Kelani. Thank you for joining us this morning.
It's a pleasure. Already the festive season has started, and I seize this opportunity to wish you and our viewers on Channel Television a Merry Christmas in advance. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You know, when an elder wishes you Merry Christmas, the Christmas is already merry. How's it been, sir? How has it been, sir?
It's fine. I couldn't complain. I've been busy for the past few weeks, preparation for ending the year on a positive note.
Now, talking about busy, there are those who are wondering. I haven't heard from you in a while. Those who are wondering would remember. Well, those who know would remember, and those who are looking at you will be wondering, who is he? Those who know would know that you were the brain behind Oleku back in then. At that time, Shaworoide, I think 1 and 2, and a number of other beautiful, flicks that you have made over time. A good number of them rooted in culture. And so, but we haven't in a while heard from you. So when you say you have been busy, we are querying you.
Busy doing what?
How's it been really? What have you been doing, sir?
Thank you. Some of the audience are getting anxious that I'm not as busy as I should have been. But we did actually release Cordelia perhaps in October this year.
Oh.
And I've just finished a short film, which is going to be the new Koshegbe. We did a teaser with the new Nikon Red ZR camera. So it was a teaser, and at the same time, it was a camera test in preparation for 2026. So I apologize. I've not been, perhaps let the audience down because I've not been as prolific or hardworking as I should have been. This is due to some circumstances, Nigerian atmosphere, but it's okay. I'm promising by 2026 we are going to go straight to work, and I thank the audience for their support over the years. And it is the audience support that has made Nollywood popular. The audience, the Nigerian audience, helped Nollywood to stand on its feet. Because our people, they know that most of those productions are flawed, but they still prefer the worst of Nollywood to the best of Hollywood. I hope we are not losing all that. We must never take the audience for granted. So thank you for that challenge, and accept it.
That's a very, very interesting way to put it, and that's really applauded. I know that Joke is inching to come, but let me just ask this question. It's not very common for people behind the camera, one, to be known for their work, and then two, for them to be interviewed. They're the ones always shooting camera in people's faces. A good number of producers and directors, when I ask them to come on the program, they just don't want to be seen. They want to push forward their actors and all of that. So how has that been for you? It's also an industry thing. Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, and all of them. Hardly would you find a good number of them in front of their cameras. Is that part of the training?
As far as I'm concerned, my work is a dialogue between me and the audience. So it's important that I engage the audience or we talk. It's not just me pushing the stories to them. No, it's part of the process. And I do appreciate, I told you, the contribution of the Nigerian audience, my collaborators, supporters, benefactors who have sustained my filmmaking. And so occasionally I like also to sit down and talk about the movie, what it meant at that particular time, and what we are likely to be doing. I think we are going to be revisiting some of the IPs, the iconic films, because Nigeria has moved on. In the case of the new Koshegbe, which is likely to be the next project, the film was made in 1995, and specifically it focuses on the customs, the Nigerian customs, as representing Nigeria. But 25 years since that time, what has changed? What has happened? Both in the Nigerian society, the people, the economy, and all the socials between now and then. Is Nigeria or the particular parastatal Nigeria custom, has it changed? So what has happened and things like that. So it's a dialogue between me and the audience. So I sometimes welcome. I don't just do interviews, but how can I refuse the opportunity to talk, to be on channels television, the whole channels television. There's no way I could turn that down.
All right.
So I'm here.
Right. Yeah. Right. You spoke a few minutes ago. You talked about, when we were asked, what you were doing, being busy, and you said in 2026 that you want to, begin work, hit the ground running. And I mentioned earlier a couple of, works popular works that you've done that we've all enjoyed watching, and we will watch it again and again. So if I can ask you this, what inspires your storytelling? We've noticed that it's embedded in culture and it tells a story of, things that happen around us all the time. But how do you, pinpoint, you get to that point of this is what I want to talk about in my work and this is why I want to talk about it?
I respond to my environment a lot, and I think that the African filmmakers, we do not have the luxury of, we are imbued with certain responsibilities. That is, we make films that entertain, but at the same time, we make films that, focuses on the social, political times. Anytime one is making this, when I'm making a film, I make films that have a bit of myself in it, and I do respond, to the social lives of all of us. How are we doing? How are we faring? How about the leaders? Are they delivering? Do they hold any promise? What do we have to do? So we need to constantly engage and ask questions and so on. But again, I respond a lot to literature. I do a lot of adaptation from the stories that I have. How do I share them? But this is what keeps me going. And of course, I also respond to technology. I'm excited by technology, having worked in unknown technologies of making motion pictures. I think there's a lot of excitement as the tools that's available to storytellers uses. And I be the young one. The last short film that I just made, the new Koshegbe, the teaser, I made sure that about 50 young people, were around, so we interacted, and that trend will continue. I always make sure that we take the youth along with us.
I'm excited about what you said, TK, that you have worked with all the technology that existed in this generation in filmmaking. Some people would shudder to imagine the celluloid age and to where we are now. Back then, you had to manage the the shortest inch of the tape just to ensure that you cut it all. But today, all you have to do is get as much, storage drives and storage spaces as possible. But you may want to speak to that and how it has helped you to manage movie making, storytelling, and the rest of that, and how that has helped or is helping or may have worked against the young people in their own filmmaking campaigns in all of their lives. What's been different for you, and how should we be embracing technology, particularly for the young generation, in telling the authentic African stories?
When we started making films, none of us we could not own the means of production, and we were tied to foreign technical support. For instance, we import the films from abroad, put it in the cameras, and show the film, but we couldn't even process the film, so we had to send everything back to Europe or America, and then the films come back, we sync the sounds, and then we finish the editing, and we carry everything back to Europe. And it's very interesting because you remember at this time there's no monitor, so we just have the viewfinder, which the director sometimes check, and that's it. So we don't know what we have done, which is going to be seen maybe 2 months later after production. So we have to be on top of what we are doing, make sure the light, the exposure, everything is all right. And then we had a phase where all that ended with the military dictatorship, the SAP period, Structural Adjustment Program, and we had to find our way. And Nigeria adopted home video for some time. And for some of us professionals, it was very ridiculous making films on home video. But I was one of the few who appropriated that technology and squeezed all the quality out of it using adapters and things like that. But now we are back in full circle because we went through digital video and all the various strains of analog video, and then digital video, DV, Betacam, SP, and things like that. And then we went to digital video. But today, we now have cinematic video, which is both almost the same specification as celluloid did. In my last experience using the Nikon Red ZR, we were shooting raw. We were shooting a red codec raw, which means that this small camera gives us almost the same latitude that we used to use in celluloid. We talk about the dynamic range, which is about 15:1, ratio, contrast ratio. What it means is that, like film, this digital system will see not only the highlight area, but can see well into the low light area, all within a particular scene. So what else could we ask for? And it reminds me of when we talk about, we went around shooting 100 full rolls of film, which translates to only 2 minutes. So we were expected to cover news with 2 minutes material. You have to train yourself to edit as you shoot the material for the editors. And later we shot 35 mil and all of these things. But video gives the impression that it goes on forever. So people became less creative because they were just recording. But when we chose the codec, and on a 64 gig card, CF Express card, it allowed us only 1 minute of shooting. So we had to try another codec, which gave us 11 minutes of shooting time because of the amount of demand for storage. And you remember when we used to shoot 35 mm, the 400 full magazines gave us 10 minutes only. You know, so we were back in, in another circle. And I'm talking of films you shoot that's going to go to the cinema, that's going to be given large projection. But of course, you can shoot more friendly, story-friendly codecs if we are shooting a documentary or something like that. But the advantage of the advancement in technology, which is available and affordable today, is that it gives us a tool to tell our stories. All these young people, stories are everywhere as we approach 2027.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of drama happening all over the place. And so I think the young people should get smart, get educated, get skilled, and even with their smartphone, because I teach smartphone cinematography. Wow. And with a little investment or whatever they already have, they can continue to tell their stories.
I think I need to come and enroll in that class very, very quickly. Because I've been told, I've seen a few short films that says that my phone is actually used to shoot movies, even in Hollywood. So I think a good number of people might do well to say that. We are hoping, to host you in the studio one of these days, TK, because you are definitely one of those people that filmmaking in Nigeria will never forget for your own name, your voice, your imprint on the sands of time. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Tunde Kelani is a renowned Nigerian filmmaker, cinematographer, and producer. An angle we have not covered is how we should use culture to tell authentic Nigerian story and build global trust for our nation. Well, that will be some other time. Thank you so much for your time.
Take a whole program on this.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.